Hello, this is Tbix bringing to you, trying to introduce LRIA, the location request intake agent. I know so many people are asking, what's the meaning of this? What does it do? So forth and so forth. It's a very good question to be crowding around your mind. But LRIA ensure lawful, transparent, and secure location data request. That's what it does. So LRIA stands for Location Request Intake Agent. It is a specialized administrative system that manages and audit requests for location data from law enforcement and emergency services. LRIA does not access or retrieve location data itself. It ensures all requests follow proper legal and privacy procedures. Why was it created? Why did I decide to think about this stuff? Initially, I was thinking about can I get something, an AI that would tell me when my kids are located, so that I should always follow them up. I didn't want to be using phone location. I just wanted to say, okay, where are my kids? Call the phone for me. And unfortunately, I couldn't create that. I searched and realized that there's a lot of privacy invasion with that process. So I came to the conclusion that a location request intake agent can help with a lot of kidnaps and a lot of missing kids now in our country. We need to protect that. And we need to do it, have an agent that can help us process information real quick. So that's why I created this stuff. To prevent individual privacy, protect individual privacy and civil liberties, and to ensure all locations data requests are lawful, necessarily, and properly documented, to provide transparency and accountability in handling of sensitive data. So that's one of the aspects of it. How does it work? How do we use it? So the first step of it to work is intake and verification. So you have to understand that only authorized law enforcement or emergency personnel can submit requests. Only them can submit requests. And what happens when requests are submitted? What do we do? Requester identity and credential are strictly verified. So every request must include valid legal authorization, warrant, court order, emergency declaration. The lawyer checks documents for completeness and compliance. After that, LRIA's requests are limited to minimum data necessary for the case. So only the information that's needed for the case will be extracted or used. So overly broad or suspicious requests are flagged and escalated. And a human oversight is also involved. All requests are reviewed and approved by a designated human supervisor before any data is released. So, that being said, let us look at why we're talking. Let's see how the LRIA agents can actually work properly by trying to go through some questions that are frequently asked now and see what LRIA is going to tell us. For example, we want to look at questions like that is running through your mind right now. Can LRIA retrieve location data for me? That answer, you get it from LRIA. So let's see. No, LRIA cannot retrieve location data for you. LRIA rules is strictly administrative and compliance focused. Here's what LRIA does and does not do. So we have a list of what LRIA can do, which involve verifies the identity and authority of requester, validate legal documents, warrant, subpoenas, court orders, etc. Ensure all requests comply with the ECPA, the CALI, and local privacy laws, and prepares administrative package for human approval and carry submission. maintains detailed audit logs and compliance checklists, and escalate non-compliant or suspicious requests to legal counsel. What LRIA does not do. LRIA does not access, retrieve, or provide location data directly. LRIA does not contact carriers or data providers unless expressly authorized by auditable and auditably by policy. LRIA does not bypass legal or privacy safeguard. So that's one question that has been answered. Another question that people ask is, that is running through your mind, that I want us to go through it, is, what if my request is urgent? What if your request is urgent? You want to know what you would do. Leah is going to tell you what you're going to do. So this works perfectly with lawyers. So as I said, privacy and security safeguard, all actions are locked with a full audit frame, strict rule-based access control, automatic reduction of unnecessary personal information, secure encrypted storage and communication, regular compliance review and audit. So that question that we ask, if your case is urgent, one, intake and identification. If your request is urgent, for example, involving an emergency or exigent circumstance, LRIA will still enforce strict legal and compliance guidelines, but the workflow is designed to prioritize and expedite such cases. Here's how it flows. So you have an intake of identity verification. You have the legal basis and documentation. When the intake layer will immediately verify your identity and authority as a requester. Only authorized laws enforcement, emergency services, at least we already seen that. And then legal basis documentation. For emergency, you must provide a completed exigent circumstance for form or equivalent legal documents. The layer will validate the documentation. The next part will be layer will do compliance and minimization. And layer will expedite administrative package, create an administrative package for you, and human approval gate, and then audit and post-action review. So that's another way in which you can use. That's another answer that you get. And then the last question that we can see that people will frequently ask is, how do I know if my request was approved? That's a good question. How do you know if your request was approved? So let's see what Leah is going to tell us, how you get to know if your request was approved. So the first thing is status update. Leah provide request status summary for every request, including the request ID and current status. It will say pending review, approved, denial, escalated, sanitize requester information, legal basis validation result, compliance checklist completion status, next step and expedite timeline, notification. Once your request passes the human approval gate, Leah will send you a notification, typically via secure email or your agency designated communication channel. The request has been approved. And then you go through the next step, is audit, and then it's carrier response tracking. After approval and submission, Leah tracks the carrier response. You will receive sanitized status update. Carrier acknowledge data production in progress, carrier denial request as they become available. So this layer will work perfectly with an organization, and they need to set it up perfectly to make all this stuff, set it up, and the approval people need to be added into the system, and everything is built in such a way that communication is built. Once something is submitted to layer, it undergoes the audit and the process, check everything, and automatically send a notification to the approval person in charge to approve the process. Once the person review and click approves, it goes to the next step, and so on and so forth. So right now, let's try to see if we can actually try an example with a real maybe example of a case and see what LRIA is going to produce for us. How LRIA is going to follow all the steps and provide us with information that we need. Let's look about comprehensive. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't have a good example for us right now. I thought I have a good example for us to to focus on and then see how we could use a submit case. But I promise, if you guys request for example, I'm gonna make another video that that explain to us, or that show you how we upload cases and how Leo goes about it. But you can try yourself. You can get a case that needs this location request intake. You can get that and put it in there, any case, and then Lias is going to help you with all the steps necessary on how to get that done legally. Thank you. Please comment, send your feedback, and then help me develop this agent properly so they can help our nation. Thank you.